I don't know what story we'll follow. What story will follow? We say show up, I show up. Yeah, I remember what that was. Somebody in church said it.
Time do you start? You listen to music? What time do you start?
I started at 11, like 11 to 7. Yeah.
9.
9 to
When?
9 to 1. Yeah, 11 to 7.
Excuse me, guys, the like the audio guy? Yeah. That speaker, is it a way to move the speaker away from the microphones or turn it down? So that we won't get that sound along with their voice?
Okay, when you getting feedback or something?
Well, it's not the feedback, it's really getting double audio.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So is that better?
Talk to us.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out today. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out today. Is that too loud still here?
Yeah.
Okay. We can get you together. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out today. Is that better? I need a card from everybody. I need to network with you guys.
I mean, the only thing I can tell is we know the story because we've been on it. So piecing together, we know the story. So it's not like coming in cold. I know, that's what I'm thinking. I saw the mayor outside. When we were coming in, he had just walked in. The mayor.
Jerome, yeah.
So he's here. Are you good service here or no? Rob. Rob. Do you have good cell service down here or no? Are you getting good cell service?
I am, yeah. I got 4 bars.
Two.
What do you have?
AT&T.
I have Verizon. Usually they suck, but yeah.
I'm barely, I got 2 more.
Oh, I'm good.
About to start, Rob. They're coming.
Is everybody ready to get started?
Yes.
I'll give you guys like 20 seconds here. Okay, we're here today to make an announcement into a discovery that was made this morning, a joint effort with the Indiana State Police and the Gary Police Department. To talk about this morning's events, I'm going to introduce to you Commander Jack Hamady.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I know it was a short notice, but instead of continuing on, we figured we'd get you guys notified. So everyone's aware of on April 3rd, 2022, that Ariana Taylor went missing. And through the investigation, her last whereabouts were early morning hours of April 3rd, right around 1 a.m. She was last seen in Maryville by her friends and family. We began the investigation after she had left the roadway. She left the roadway that morning hour and crashed. And the vehicle was unoccupied at that time. So the Indiana State Police took the crash report, and we had no driver at that point. The next day, she was not reported missing at that point. The family didn't think she was a missing person. That day went on, and around 9 a.m., or 9 p.m., I'm sorry, to correct myself, 9 p.m. on April 3rd, her mother made a missing person report with the Lake County Sheriff's Department. That report was made, and the next day, Monday, which would be April 4th, they began search parties. They used the Lake County Aviation, they used the Gary Police Department, the Lake County Sheriff's Department, Department of Natural Resources. They began a search for her, and the results were negative. We went into Tuesday, which was April 5th. The mother made another second missing person report with the Gary Police Department because they believe that she was inside that vehicle and she was last seen in the city of Gary when it exited the freeway. At that point, the Gary Police Department began an investigation on April 5th and started the investigation looking at putting the pieces together where she was. We started a search of the area. We utilized the Lake County Sheriff's Department dive team. We searched Deep River with sonar. We were unable to locate her. We did a secondary canine search track. That was a negative. And most of our efforts were north of the crash location and in central, about 1 to 2 mile radius around the crash. At that time, we exhausted our measures. We began putting the pieces together of where her last whereabouts were, who she was with. So we started our investigation with interviews, looking at LPR technology, looking at camera footage, and we started with her cell phone. As we continued through the week, we came into the end of the weekend, and through the investigation, we believe that she was still in the area. We don't believe she was picked up. And that's when we organized for today. We organized it for this week, and that was with Northwest Indiana Search and Rescue Canine Team. We planned for them to come out with their canine dogs and do a second search and try to start to go south of the location where the crash site was. So we began at it's 2800 Colorado Street, Gary, Indiana. It's Bellaboo's recreational facility. They've been very cooperative and blessed with the assistance that we needed over there. And we went into that area today and we did a brief around 9 a.m. We actually started our canine search with 5 different dog teams. We gridded it out to 6 different areas, and we started the canine search in that area. About 21 minutes into the search, one of the dogs had gotten odor and then started to change of behavior and started to go towards a fence line. At that time, one of the canine handlers observed an individual we believe to be deceased at that point in the water, in a ditch, a shallow drainage ditch. This was something that individuals could not access on foot. It had a fence in between it. At that time, the Gary Police Department was notified. The County Sheriff's Department was notified with their crime lab unit, the Lake County Coroner's Office, as well as Lake Station Fire Department. They all arrived on scene. We weren't sure if we had the female identified at that time. We knew we had a deceased, what looked like a black female in her 20s that was deceased in the ditch. That was only an hour ago. And since we've been here on station, we've been able to positively identify the female as Ariana Taylor. with the Lake County Coroner's Office, and the mother has been notified. And she's been on scene. So she did positively identify Ariana Taylor. So our individual in the drainage ditch that we located today is going to be Ariana Taylor. We appreciate everyone's assistance. We appreciate everyone helping us, from the Northwest Indiana Canine Search and Rescue team that came out, the Lake Station Fire Department, Department of Natural Resources, Indiana State Police provided assistance with our ground search today, and all other agencies. If I'm leaving any out, we appreciate the assistance and we thank them. I'm going to turn it over to the mayor.
Good afternoon, and thank you to Commander Hamady for giving us the brief update. Without question, it's unfortunate that we're here today, but what's more unfortunate are the results of the investigation that has positively identified the body that was identified as that of Ariana Taylor. I have, and several of our department members have been in contact with the family since the first report was made to the Gary Police Department. And as recently as yesterday, I've spoken with Miss Queena Taylor, who is a resident of Gary, the mother, and shared with her the concern of certainly the city and all of its officials. But not only that, tried to share some compassion with her from the perspective of a parent. At that particular point, we certainly weren't aware of the location of Ms. Taylor at that point, but what we were aware of and had been for some time is that she was missing. And so as a father and a grandfather, I certainly can relate to that. But just as a person, I don't think that anyone who has been in that situation certainly has the knowledge and understanding of what it's like. But what I meant to say is that anyone who hasn't experienced that can only imagine. And you certainly have to put on your compassionate hat as a person, as a resident of city. And to that extent, I want to offer the entire city of Gary some solace, as well as certainly, more importantly, the family, Miss Queena Taylor and the entire Taylor family, as well as all the residents and friends and family of that family who came out over the last 7 or 8 days to help in the search for Miss Taylor. As Commander Hamady said, there were several agencies involved in the activity, and I, on behalf of the city of Gary, and certainly as a mayor, I want to offer our thanks to all of them in their search efforts. And I ask that each of you continue to keep this family in your prayers as the days evolve. Thank you very much.
To introduce Deputy Chief Michael Jackson, sir.
I couldn't hear the name. Can you say your name one more time? Please say your name.
Michael Jackson.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. As the mayor alluded to, and Commander Hamady and the trooper, we do offer our condolences to the family. We work diligently on making this case come to a conclusion. Unfortunately, it's one that we expected, but we were hoping wouldn't be. But Commander Hamady will have all the necessary ins and outs about it that we can share with you at this time. Those things, of course, that we cannot, because it is an ongoing investigation, we will have to withhold. So I really don't have much more to say on the matter, but the Chief may have a couple of words he might want to include on it. So, Chief Evans.
First and foremost, I want to offer my deepest condolences to the Taylor family and to all of the people that were involved that helped us do the search. I want to thank not only all of the law enforcement agencies that came out to help us, State Police, Lake County, Lake Station, New Chicago, Lake Station Fire Department, Gary Fire Department, but also our citizens who came out. You know, we can always count on our citizens to be available to us, to provide information and tips, and to come out and help us. In fact, many of our citizens came out and volunteered to help the family search in their efforts, as well as giving us as much information as they could find and to help us develop leads as we went along. We certainly want to, again, offer our deepest condolences to the family and thank all of those who were involved.
Okay, as Commander Hamady said and the chief said, this is an active investigation still, even though they have identified the body. We will open it up to some brief questions. If anyone has any, we'll try to answer them what we can. Yes, sir.
Still considered.
Hang on,
I'm sorry.
he's right here.
Yes, Wesley with WGN. My question is, you guys have found, do you guys believe that is there any foul play involved? I know the mother had concern about that.
Okay, the question is if we suspect there's foul play. You want to address that, or is that would be part of the investigation that they're not going to comment on right now? That will come out later as well as with the coroner's report, but that obviously has not been completed yet.
Is there any threat to the public?
No, there's no threat to the public that we believe that right now. No,
Is there any search for suspects right now?
Not at this time.
no. Yes, ma'am.
I think I'm just keeping my distance because of that cold. Is this still considered, or how would you classify this investigation? Is it a death investigation? Is it a homicide investigation?
I'll leave
Commander?
Commander Hampshire. So the question is, how do we classify this investigation?
Sure. Obviously, the first start as a missing person. So Detective Sergeant Marcelzer had that case. We assigned that case to him. He's been working that aspect of it. As soon as we found a deceased person, we began a death investigation. And that's when I contacted Lake County Metro Homicide, and they worked it at that angle. So I'm going to have two detectives, Detective Sergeant Poe from the Lake County Metro Homicide. He's going to be working that in conjunction with Sergeant Salazar, just to make sure that it is a death investigation. If there's any foul play, they'll work that together. This happened an hour ago, so we're waiting for the coroner's office to get back with us on the actual cause of death.
So this is a death investigation, to be clear?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And what can you tell us about kind of the topography there? She was
Sure.
in this shallow area. Is it connected to the other body of water that was searched?
No, it's more of a drainage ditch from the interstate to to a field, an open field, separated by a fence.
Is there any indication as to how long she's been there? Do you believe that she flew out of the car? Was she placed there?
No, her car was, and don't quote me, at least 2 miles north of that location. So her vehicle was on I-65, and the vehicle left the roadway and went down into almost Colorado Street, where Central Avenue is. Many people have been out there. So that's where her vehicle was. Colorado Street goes south, goes back over the Borman Expressway to Malibu's. And that's where she was south of that location.
If I could answer that. I know that the interstate mile marker is a little bit better than Commander does. So the location the body was found is where I-65 is going northbound. There's a ramp that leads to eastbound I-80-94. On the southeast corner is this children's play area called Bellaboos. That is where the body was located. The scene of the crash is about just over a mile north of that location if you continued on I-65 and did not take that exit. So where she was located was not close to where the crash was occurred.
And that's why I was asking about the topography and maybe perhaps some of the infrastructure, because some of those ponds do have enormous drains that.
Right, this was not a pond. This was more cattails. It would be a cattail ditch, like you said, that would lead to a larger body of water eventually. So it's a drainage area.
So there's just to be clear, can you at all tell us how she got there? I mean, do you think a body of water pushed her there? Someone dropped her off?
No, another body of water she did not float there or anything like that. That's part of the investigation. I'm sure that will come out through by the investigators of how they're going to believe that she got to this location. Right now, we're very early on. We just located her 4 hours ago, I think it was. So that's something that will come out through the investigation.
I spoke with her mom, I believe Saturday or Friday, excuse me. Her mom told me, I don't remember. Anyway, her mother told me that she was with a group of girls on a girl outing, and she just had some concerns that the girls that she was with may have known something. Are you guys questioning those girls that the mother was referring to?
Commander,
Yes. So earlier I stated about the report was made last week and we started our investigation. All that has been done, and that's why today we're where we're at, because we've done our investigation And we weren't completed by no means, but we felt that we had enough information through interviews and through technology that we believed that she was still out there. We did not believe that there, at that point, if there was any foul play or if anyone had picked her up or anything like that, we believed that, this Ariana Taylor, who was missing, was still maybe out there. And that's why we formed what we did today and went out there for a secondary or third search.
Supposedly some clothes were found somewhere near the scene last week. Can you talk about the body that was found today? Did it have clothes on it? What was the condition of it?
I'm not going to go too much into that detail. I know her mother had released that some clothing was located south of that location, closer to the Spalabus. That clothing was never fully positively identified. I know I had a crime scene investigators pick that evidence up, and we're going to match it with DNA. We were, we're not always 100% that was her clothes, but the mother stated that that's possibly her pants that she had. And she put that on Facebook, and I know that it was in the social media, but we were never 100%. So we had to take that into account when we started our search. Was she in that area of those clothes? And that's what we did do. We'll look in where the area of the clothes, we looked in the area of the crash site.
Were there clothes on the body?
We'll take two more questions.
Can you talk about, just real quick, so last week you were out there, you talked to her, we were at the scene.
Mm-hmm.
How is she doing right now? Have you talked to her? Did you bring her to the scene today? And how is she doing right now?
I'll let the chief speak.
My question to you, sir, again, I'm still not clear on the answer that you gave me regarding the girls that the mother said that she was with when the girls identified her missing.
I mean, I think it got a little larger. They wanted she wanted her daughter found, but I think when you put it on social media, there's some people that aren't for the right reasons, and now they're saying or calling her with negative comments about her. So we had to look at that, and through the investigation, look at who we need to interview, and those individuals are on our top priority to interview, and that's what we did.
Last question right here.
Is it conceivable that she could walk to that, or was she trying to, get to safety, or is it conceivable that she could walk there from the crash based on her injuries?
Thank you for coming. That's going to conclude our interview for today. Appreciate it. And there'll be more information released as it's made available and aware by the Gary Police Department. Thank you.
Commander, I just had a follow-up question. You mentioned the technology.
Yes.
Her cell phone.
I'm not going to comment about this almost yet because it's still under investigation.
Hey, everybody. So that skipped out a little bit. Sabrina, let me give you a wrench on. It skipped out a little bit there, and I'm not sure if there was anything important that was said within those couple of seconds, but I will go back and I'll provide that in the link and in the pinned comment if we missed anything. Thank you for everybody coming. I want to share a pretty photo that someone had made for Ariana. I'm going to share that with you. Give me just a moment, and I'm also going to pull up some of the footage from this morning. So let me share this pretty photo if you guys want to save it. I found it on Facebook, and if you want to take a screenshot of it, I thought it was beautiful, almost like graffiti. And at the bottom of it, it said, "Bring Ariana home." So I cut that part off because Ariana has been found. I'd like to take this and take a look and share it. I'm going to probably put it on my community wall. I thought it was really pretty. This here, isn't that pretty? Thought that was gorgeous. Somebody made that for her. You're welcome, Morris. Many prayers to your family. Morris is the reason I covered Ariana. Morris's loved one is a friend of the family and came to me the other day and said, Tiffany, would you please cover this? And immediately, of course, went and looked everything up. And Morris, we're here for you. This is so sad. Prayers for Ariana's mom and son and her whole family. Isn't it, Tibori, isn't it gorgeous? So beautiful. Yeah, 420, they found her. She was in a drainage ditch, deceased. They found her about 4 hours ago, so it would have been 11 a.m. Eastern. Let me grab, while you guys wait, I will pull up a couple of the news articles from, yeah, they're not giving out much info at all, which is good. That's really good. You want it that way. I think they are going to really take such good care of this case. So the less they say, the better. I know people get irritated and they want to know more and they don't understand why the police don't, they don't tell anybody anything. They've got to be that way. They want answers for her. They need justice for her. And they can't do that if they're giving out all kinds of information. So let's see. I'm going to go to just have to pull it up. I'll spend about 20 minutes or so. I'm going to keep this really short. Make sure I put everything that I can out. I just have to go into my Discord really quickly. So give me just a moment. I'm going to go on mute for just a minute. Okay, so this is Ariana's mom. Oh, this here, very interesting. I want to really share this, but let's see here. I'm going to read this. This was put out by Felicia Johnson. It says Ariana Taylor, a 23-year-old mom. She's 24. She is not 23. Was last heard from on the night of April 2nd and reported missing the next day after the SUV believed to be in her possession was recovered following a crash. She was last seen wearing ripped blue jeans, a red sweater, and gym shoes, courtesy of her mother. The Gary Police Department describes Ariana as a female, Black, approximately 5'6" and 200 pounds. She was last seen in Gary, Indiana, wearing ripped blue jeans, a red sweater, and gym shoes. Gary PD is urging anyone with information to call Sergeant Mark Salazar at 219-881-1209 and the crime tip line at 866-CRIME-GP or 911. Now, there's a lot of there's a lot of things going on right now surrounding what happened to her. There's a lot of speculations out there. I'm not going to get into those. I think it's really important to keep that stuff off of online, keep it for the comment section. So I'm going to go to the Gary Police Department. Let me see if they've got what I'm looking for. Actually, I apologize, you guys. Give me just a moment. I want to find this one. I know where it is. I wasn't prepared for this, so I just found out. Here it is. So this came from NWI Times. I'm going to share the link for that. I'm going to pull this up here. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to take this photo down, guys. And that was just something I found this morning, so wanted to share it with you. Let me pull this here. Apologize, I'm not looking at chat. Okay. So this comes from NWI.com. This is a news. Police ID remains as missing region woman. I'm going to play these. Police have identified the remains found Wednesday morning near the Bella Booze Play and Discovery Center as Lake County resident Ariana Taylor, who has been missing since earlier this month. The body of the 23-year-old Calumet Township woman was found in shallow water following a search by cadaver dogs, police said during an early afternoon news conference. Gary and Indiana State Police officers had blocked access through the morning to the area in question at 2800 Colorado Street. Gary police said they had sought the assistance of cadaver dogs and the body was found in less than 25 minutes. Thank God for the cadaver dogs. Our furry friends are really a godsend. The body was discovered in a mucky area where search parties likely would not have been able to see it. A Chevrolet Trailblazer that Taylor was believed to have been driving on April 2nd crashed off Interstate 65 near the Interstate 80 exchange, police had said. The SUV was found April 3rd. The driver was not located despite extensive searches on foot with a drone, canine, officers on horseback, and the Lake County Sheriff's Department helicopter. So I'm going to play these. This was the scene. You can see her mom. Her mom is here. Gosh, I feel so bad for her. Let me mute. So if you guys want to find this article, I can drop this in the comment section for you. Hold on. I'll put this right in the chat. It is heart-shattering how this world is coming to. It's just terrible. And I wanted to put up for you guys, if I can find it. Wanted to put up a picture of Ariana and her son. I don't know if I have it. I have to search for it. I'll just go through my photos really quickly, you guys. I don't mean to keep anybody waiting or take too long, but okay. I don't think I have the photo of her and her baby boy. I think it was in a video. But if you go on Facebook, you guys, and you search Ariana Taylor for posts, there is all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of people who love her. That is very clear. She's very much loved. You'll share the story. Thank you, 420. I appreciate that. I'm just going to highlight some comments here. Cheesecake Mafia, rest in peace, Ariana. Fly high, sweetie. Poppy the Good Troll is posting prayer hands. Cynthia Berg, thank you. Sabrina. Sarisa, my heart is breaking for her little boy. Your mean girl. My heart breaks for her mother and her son. Deborah Sharp, we do not know, and they don't even know if she was driving the vehicle. I know that they had said that earlier in news broadcasts. They need to do their investigation to find out if she was the one driving her car, and hopefully we'll know more, maybe in a couple days. Maybe a little bit longer. Hopefully they can find out exactly what happened. Her baby was not with her, 420. So he is safe. He is safe. Memphis Mommy Mars. I hate that word, motherless. He'll always have a mother. His mother will always be Ariana, but he won't have her. So sad. And you can tell that her baby boy is her life. Deborah Sharp, concerning the son's father, I don't have any information about that. There's been a lot of speculation, but I don't want to put that out there because I don't want to speculate about her at all. Emergency me, thank you. I will put that photo up, absolutely. Morris, if you have that photo of her and her son, would you send it to me? I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about. If you want to put it in the mod chat. Is there a poster? Yes, let me get that for you. I can get that for you right now. Just a moment. I have several. Actually, I have several flyers. But the flyers were before she was found, 420, but I can share them. These were previous to them locating her. So this is one. I believe they're on my community post as well, 420. So just know that they're not looking for anymore. But this is the poster. There's one. And I will grab the next while I wait for that photo. If the photo comes through. I don't remember where I saw it. I'm hoping Morris might have it. But if not, it's okay. And I'm going to continue to cover Ariana. As more details come out, I will continue to cover her. Let me get the next photo for you for 20. I actually can, let me do this. What I'll do is I'll put up, these are the photos of Ariana. She's beautiful, gorgeous, actually, very stunning. I'll go back through and I will show you the important photos. Okay. This is the next poster for 420. Here you go. That's the next one. If you want to take a screenshot of that. She's not missing anymore. Okay. They did find her fast, thank God. Here she is. I'll read comments in just a sec. Let me come to the comments. Her mom is beautiful too. Yeah, very much so. Did they explain why it took them so long to find her? Lee Marie, in my opinion, well, considering they said about 2 miles. So she was found about 2 miles from her vehicle. I don't think in comparison to some of the missing, she was located pretty quickly. As soon as they brought the search dogs out, they said they found her. They located her very quickly. Now I know that it took a week. And I know it probably sounds horrible to say that a week isn't a long time, but considering we have people that have been missing for months, it takes months to find them or years to find them. So thank God she was located within a week, although a week is a long time. A week is forever when you're a family member. So she is pretty. They did not, but Lee Marie, they didn't elaborate on much. They gave a little bit more information than some police departments do, I feel, but they did not give too much, which is good. Hey, Lisa Lee. I didn't plan to go live today. I'm so sad, but I'm so happy they found her. Northern Farm Girl said I shared it when it happened now. I would love to put out and share the pics. Would be nice to remember Ariana. God bless her mother, son, family, dad, etc. Tammy Lynn, prayers for her family. Deborah Sharp, I'm sure they absolutely will. I'm sure there's a pretty big investigation going on. So if anything looks a little suspicious to you, I'm sure it looks suspicious to them as well. Did they have her on surveillance somewhere? I don't believe they have stated that, Jenny. Not that I know, but keep in mind, I have only researched what I've seen today. On Facebook, they are sharing yellow hearts. Oh, thank you, What Big Eyes. Also, What Big Eyes shared. I know What Big Eyes had shared something earlier today. Let me go over there really quickly. I haven't seen it, but I was told about it. What Big Eyes put out a really short clip. I will stick it here in the chat. This was confirmation that they found her. So What Big Eyes, thank you for covering Ariana. We're going to do yellow hearts for Ariana. So could you guys flood the chat with some yellow hearts and prayer hands, and angels, some roses or flowers, yellow hearts for Ariana. And I'm going to share her photos while you guys do that. This is so sad. I was really hoping that they would find her alive, but I had a feeling they might not. Man, so young, so beautiful, her whole life ahead of her. She went out with friends, she went home, left again, and whatever happened, we don't know. Here's another photo of Ariana. She's a happy girl. I'm not going to share her clothes. I don't want to do that. Everyone saw them in the first video. Let's just keep it just pretty pictures of her. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the yellow hearts for Ariana. I will highlight them. I mixed in red because it's her favorite color. GI Cutie 1985. Many prayers to you. Bridget, yellow hearts. Kit Brinch, Deborah Sharp, Kristen, Indy, Puppet Muppet, Sandra M. Beautiful guys. Thank you. So much love here. The subscribers, I appreciate very much. You guys are always so caring, and it's always the same group of people who show up and show love and show support for the missing. And you're the real true crime. You're the real true crime group here, showing up for the victims, and I appreciate you, all of you. Donnie. Lilac, thank you. Okay, 420, yeah, my community post. I will make something for Ariana in a little while. Maybe I'll make something, a beautiful poster for her, like a rest in peace, or maybe a little video I'll put together for a remembrance or something like that. That way we have something new that doesn't say missing, because she's not missing anymore. She's been located. I'll put something together. Northern Farm Girl, love what you're doing. Tiffany, as everyone in this live. Well, I love that you show up, and thank you for supporting the victims always, Northern Farm Girl. Angela James, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Gigi. Just doing me. You're welcome. Pray for her family, you guys. They're heartbroken. They're going to have a really hard time here. So they're going to need all the love and all the prayers that they can get. Give me just a sec before I end this. I want to, before I go, let me do this. There's also a group Justice for Ariana Taylor. Let me share that in the chat for you guys. This is on Facebook. Justice for Ariana Taylor. This is the group, the Facebook group. Sorry for my keyboard. I don't know what that sounds like on your end. There you go. That's the Facebook group. I want to make sure you guys have the Gary Police Department on Facebook. You should stay informed there as well. I'm going to take that down. Okay. So what I'll do here, you guys can join that Facebook group if you want to keep up to date. I'll also come back and I will give updates as time goes on. Keep Ariana in your prayers, her family. And thank you guys for showing up for her for the last couple days. Thanks for following along and for caring. You guys have a good day. Take care. Be safe.